Hi, this is On Imagination with a Healing Garden. So somebody just recently brought to my attention dyslexia. And I immediately went, ooh, what's this? And I started to dissect the psychology of it. And I don't know if it's medical or psychological. If it's medical, not in my area, not in my area at all. If it's psychological, oh, I'm going to rip that thing apart. But before I can even get to that, I'm going to go ahead and address to you what my plan is. Because, and from this is what I gathered when I was looking at it, because dyslexia looks like is a reading, it looked like, based on what I was reading, that there's a problem with translation where the brain, basically the optic nerves or the optic centers of the brain are not translating. There's basically a conduit missing. There you go. There's a conduit missing. And I'm poking around this. But while I poke, I'm going to go ahead and convert as much as I can over to video. Now, I already have this available where I'm just going to send you over to my YouTube channel, but I'm going to organize it and drop it right here in the courses. And I'm going to continue to record these videos and these audios. That way, if you do struggle with dyslexia, you have the audio to correspond with it. Most of my work does have video. And even if I do this full article, I will embellish it with a video. And the reason why is because I'm well aware that there's many different types of learning skills. There's many types of different kinds of learning disabilities and obstacles. And some people are just, oh, let me listen to this and I'm going to go ahead and speed it up to whatever. And good luck with that because I talk fast. So I'm going to go ahead and really emphasize if this is something you struggle with, I want you to know that, first of all, I'm well aware of it. And we are absolutely converting our course to fit your learning style. Absolutely. And this is really important to me. One of the things that I am working on is a program for inmates. I really hate the word inmate because it's so derogatory. People who are trapped in the system. One of the statistics that somebody brought to my attention recently was that 50% of inmates do suffer from dyslexia, which means that they were undiagnosed as children, and the education that they received in our educational programs in the United States, which is primarily reading material, is now going to be a big obstacle. Basically, it means that you guys didn't get at all the education. Well, not that it's good education anyway. We're all suffering from that. So it's going to go ahead. We're going to do a lot to make sure that there is as much audio and video available as there is written material. And the quality, personally, I think, I don't, well, I'm curious, where's the better quality, if it's video or if it's going to be written. So we'll see, but we're definitely matching our quality to make sure you get the best of the best. So we're also going to, in the future, most definitely convert all of my written work over into audio stuff where an e-reader can read it all for you. So we're going to do what we can on our end to make sure you are getting the right type of learning material for you. If there is anyone who's willing at all to talk about dyslexia, reach out to me. And I have so many questions. Like, I really want to pull this apart because if it's psychological, I know exactly what it is. I'm going to be, I know exactly what it is. If it's physical, nope, I can't touch it. But if it is psychological, I know exactly what's going on there and I know how to fix it. I know exactly how to fix it. The question is it physical? Is it medical or is it psychological? Now, here's the other thing. I have no doubt, there are probably a number of psychological conditions that mirror a physical condition. And those happen all the time in the medical realm where they get mixed up, where people go, oh, it's this. Well, you're not using diversified subconscious mindsets. So how do you know what it is if you're just zoomed in on a particular point? So a lot of misdiagnosis is common. And then there's people who struggle with this who don't have the diagnosis. So it still comes back to, is it physically medical in the brain because there's a conduit missing, or is it psychological from childhood trauma? And if it's psychological trauma, I know exactly where to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and whichever one you are easier with, we're going to make sure we have a lot of audio, video, and we're going to make sure we have a lot of reading material. That way you get the full round. But really, and I really want to emphasize this to you, learning comes from 2 points. and this is something I really want to impart on everybody. Wow, do I? Our learning centers of our brains are not for reading. That is not how you're supposed to learn. So that's not how you're supposed to learn. That's where the educational system really fucked up. We're not supposed to be reading to learn. If you can, great, but that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be dissecting theory via dialogue and internal discussion like this. We're supposed to be talking. And that's theoretical discussion by breaking it down through exploratory dialogue. This is how we learn. That's why philosophers have this kind of conversation going on. That's why I have a workshop on Thursday, is because this is how you learn. Now, flipping that back around, you're all supposed to be doing hands-on practical application in real life. And we're back to, why are you reading a book? No, don't get me wrong. I love books. I'm an author. Like, I love books and I love audiobooks. So I'm all over the place with that. I love it. But that's not how you learn. That's not at all how we learn. So the concept of, oh, you've got a learning disability. No, you've got a teaching disability. So I'm more of a, they've got teaching disabilities. You don't have a learning disability, because this isn't how you're supposed to learn, according to science, the subconscious mind, Pythagorean psychology, Plato, philosophers, and also Edgar Dale's cone of learning. They have a teaching disability. So there's nothing wrong with you. We're back to that again. There's nothing wrong with you. They don't know how to do their job. You are a victim of them not doing their job and then narcissistically blaming you for their own incompetence. I'm sorry. Hence, Pando. So we're going to make sure that you are getting the right type of education for your brain, which is why we do audio, video, and workshop discussions with instruction on how to apply something via literally skill building application. So it's absolutely, if you are open to discussion on that, I would love to learn more. Thank you. So just a minute, because I got this thing on my hair where it's like pointing out all the way and it's awesome, but thank you so much. And welcome to Panda. May the kindest of words always find you.